Now then, people, welcome to All Leeds TV and another instalment of Monday Night Football. You can watch us along actually watching Leicester and Palace. No need to listen to that terrible, commentary. Just watch us or listen to us while you watch that, that sort of stuff. We've got loads to get into today. Please smash a like on the stream. If you're watching on socials, please share it all over socials as well and subscribe to the channel if you are new here. Plenty to get through today. We're, of course, going to talk about the Roses derby that happened yesterday. We're going to have a look ahead to Brighton. And, of course, as always, with me, I'm banging that European drum. Do we need to tune up the band? Get the champion? Well, not quite the Champions League, but I'm not a massive fan of the Europa League tune. So I don't know what the Europa League tune would be, but whatever it is, we're going to tune up that band because I still think there's a chance we'll get there. We've got two fantastic guests with us today as well. We've got Jay from the Oughta Know Better podcast.
That's it. Bang on, mate. Bang on.
Jay, you all right?
I'm not too bad, mate. Yeah, I'm not too bad. As I say, I've been spending time underneath a car trying to occupy my mind as I do when there's no football worth watching because, as we said about Leicester Palace, not worth it, is it? So, yeah, just run inside. Here I am. Show must go on. Live TV.
Exactly. Off we go. That is so mad because I've just been watching Bohemian Rhapsody again for about 10 times.
Oh, what a film.
Must go on.
What a film that is.
Yeah. What a band.
Unreal.
It is cracking.
I was just saying to our lass, I said, I think I'm going to get a Freddie Mercury tattoo, Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Freddie Mercury tash then.
You're the one who has the Freddie Mercury.
Leave that to me, mate. Leave that to me.
Yeah, you tried that, didn't you? I do love Queen. I do. And all the way from Norway, we have Oscar with a K, right, instead of a C.
Yes.
Yeah, good. How are you, mate? All right.
I'm good. Thank you for having me on.
It's a pleasure, mate. It's a pleasure. Oscar is going to be putting some stuff together for the Leeds Vikings, the Scandinavian Leeds fans, and putting some apparel, some T-shirts and whatnot out there. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that. But we thought we would get Oscar on because it's nice, isn't it? We have a massive Scandinavian fan base, Norway, Sweden, all these places. So we thought, I don't think we've ever had one on, have we, Oscar? Someone from Scandinavia, have we?
No, I don't think we have. No. I don't think we have, actually.
No, there's a first for everything. You are the debutant, Oscar. You are the debutant.
Thank you.
And you've got a great name as well, mate. You've got a fantastic name there, I've got to say.
Yeah. I think it's better with a K. Yeah, I don't know if I'm down with it.
I like it with a K as well. It's
better
with a K.
Isn't it? It's cool.
Yeah, it's cooler, isn't it? It's definitely cooler. Oscar, how are you doing, mate? All good?
I'm good, man. I'm really good. Still buzzing, still buzzing. Unbeaten against City, Liverpool and Scum. And 5 points out of them 3. If only we'd done that earlier in the season, we'd be well on course for that top 6. But we're growing. We're growing as a club all the time. I rattled a few people yesterday when I said we're the best placed team outside the top 6, pushing on next season. I still believe that. People will call me deluded. I still believe that, and I can fully back that up. And I'm going to actually because I'm excited. I've compiled a couple of stats. I'm excited to see how these hit off.
Well, we'll tee you up for them a little bit later on. Oscar's got some stats coming, guys. So get excited in the chat.
I'm going to smash Phil Miles at the park here.
He's going to smash Phil Miles out of the park. Love that. How they find Jay's twin? Says
I don't have that haircut anymore, so
no.
It can piss off with that one.
Love that. One of our regulars as well, Alison and Matty Adams. Martin loves Queen, goes to all the tribute acts. Alison, get Martin to get in touch with me. I would love to do that. Let's go to a Queen concert or a tribute Queen concert. Get him to get in touch with me. Love to see everyone in the chat as well. Nice to see Charlie from the Chatting Footy show. And of course, the main man, that is Chris Kelly. Yay, stats, he says. Smarty from the Oughta Know Better says, you look like a pair of Brolins.
That's what they like to call me. But I don't have that hair that I had before now, so it don't work. No. They can say it. It's water off a duck's back. They like to break my balls, them boys, but nah, it's not happening.
That's a bit more than breaking your balls being compared to Thomas Brolin. Deary me, Jay.
he didn't do much and he got paid a lot of money. So there's worse things to be compared to.
Well, yeah, to be fair.
As life goals go, that's pretty decent, isn't it? Not doing much and getting paid a lot of money.
It's all right. Tennis player.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, great shout. Let's get into it then. We'll ask Oscar with a K first. What were your overriding feelings on the point that was gained yesterday at home against that team from across the Pennines? I tried to keep it sweet. We used the scum word far too much, even though I've just used it there, because I had a guy in the comments saying, Joe, I tell all my Manchester United friends to come over and watch us, and you keep calling us scum. And I was like, yeah, I know, but what do you want me to do? But yeah, Oscar, what were your overriding feelings, mate, yesterday on the game?
Well, I'm quite happy that we got a point. And I think as long as it isn't another 6-2, I was happy. I don't want to talk so much about it, but I was, like I told you before we went live, is that I like that we were very good defensively, but I would like to see when we play Brighton next to go more offensively. I would look forward to that.
Yeah, there has been a definite switch, hasn't there, Oscar, with regards to has been a little bit more pragmatic against teams that we should be, really, because looking at the squad that they have, the players that can bring off the bench, ultimately, let's be honest, had we have gone into the games with the same tactics and same, attack as we had previously, there's no way we'd have come out of these 3 games having been undefeated, is there?
Mm. Yeah, and Raphinha was a big miss as well.
Yeah,
I don't think Costa is very, very good, but I think Raphinha is another level.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think we've seen in that Manchester City game, didn't we? Just how much he can be an outball. The amount of times that we gave it to him and we was able to get up the pitch. And I said earlier myself, I think, Oscar with a K, if we had Raphinha as an outball, there's a chance we create a lot more against Manchester United, a lot more against Liverpool, and maybe come away with 3 points as opposed to 1.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, definitely. What about you, Jay? What are your overriding takeouts from yesterday's game?
I think it again showed like not so much the City game. Well, no, actually the City game as well, and the Liverpool game. We're a different proposition now to when we first played these teams. Yeah. I said on our podcast, we've stepped up now. The players have acclimatized to being in this league. It's not, people make a big deal about, it's Championship players. They're not Championship players anymore. They're Premier League players now. They've stepped up to that level and they've filled those shoes. Do you know what I mean? So I think that we've come a long way. I think that these results have shown that. I think, as you said, we're probably best placed outside the top 6 to sort of push forward next season. We've got something that the other teams haven't, and that's Bielsa. So, I think that we're probably spot on as well about if we had Raphinha, we might have got more. And before those games, if you told me we'd have played against Liverpool and Man United without Raphinha, I would have feared the worst, because at one point it did look a lot like nobody else was really creating much. But we seem to have settled and toughened up. We seem to have become a bit more gritty. And I thought when he brought Koch on as well that we were going to go defensive and change the system, but we didn't. He brought him on to mark someone and do a job, didn't he? And we sort of carried on as we were. It wasn't a great game to watch, don't get me wrong. And I think we all would love to have rammed it down their throats and taken 3 points. But we gave a good account of ourselves. It might not have been a good game, but we didn't get beat. They'd been on a winning run before that, and like City, not quite like City, but you know what I mean. And we put a halt to that, and I think we can be really proud of ourselves.
Yeah, bang on the money, isn't he, Oscar with a C? I'm gonna have to keep doing this, otherwise you're gonna
just call me the corrupt copper off line of duty. That's what you normally call me.
Right, Ryan Pilkington from
Ryan. Just call me Ryan for this video.
Yeah, Ryan from Line of Duty.
Pilkey for this video.
Better be called Carl Pilkington, to be fair.
Yeah, that is true. For those that are asking where the player ratings video is as well, YouTube took it down. There was a copyright infringement of some sort. So it's been taken down, guys. So we don't know why. We're investigating it as we speak, but getting in touch with YouTube, it's very tough. So let me just put that one out there because there's a lot of people asking as well. So there's been an infringement. Sometimes it happens. We were doing a stream before and Canal Plus TV
took
our video down. I don't know why. It's a French sports thing. I don't know why. Like maybe we said bonjour halfway through or something. I'm not sure, but they took it down anyway. Sometimes
because we mentioned Raphinha, they've still not forgiven us for Raphinha, mate. That's the thing. Still not forgiven us.
Want him back.
Yeah, yeah. It was really strange. We were like, "What's this?" And it was Canal Plus TV. We were like, "Eh." But anyway, it is what it is. But yeah,
I'm honoured to get a copyright infringement from such a big company.
Yeah. Mad. Yeah, it was mad. Life goals. But yeah, bang on the money there, Oscar, both, right?
Yeah, I definitely think they've banked on the money, and I'll you know what? I'll go through my stats now, if that's okay. I'm going to go through my stats because it's really interesting the difference over the season against the top six, how things have kind of changed.
Big.
I know, I've gone big.
A little image. Check
I
this
know.
out.
Cheeky, this isn't it? So obviously on the left is the first half of 2020-2021 where we played the top six. So including West Ham in this instead of Tottenham and Arsenal because West Ham are in the top six. Took 1 point out the 6 games, averaged 58% possession, 9 goals for, 20 goals against in the 6 games. And you only have to look at the stats, the difference from one half of the season to the other. Taking 9 points in the reverse games in the second half of the season. We changed the approach. It's much more successful. Yes, we scored less goals, but we conceded 15 goals fewer in the reverse games as well. But the big thing is, which really shows the change from Bielsa, is the possession. 58% start the season, 47.8%. Massive change. 10% less. We're sitting back a bit more against these teams. The tackles as well is down. Gone from 23.5 to 21.3. A bit less intense in our pressing. We're willing to sit back against these teams and frustrate them a little bit more. Shots are down as well. 8.7 compared to 11.2. You'd think this is all negative, but it's not necessarily. We're not playing into these teams' hands anymore. Yeah. You see that Man United 6-2? I think we had 17 shots in that game. We'd created loads of chances, but it was going the other way. Look at it. 11.2 shots for, 20.5 shots against. Like basketball matches at the start of the season. But now you've gone from 8.7 to 18.5 against. So defensively, the improvement is absolutely blatant. And that's from Bielsa kind of going against his kind of principles to an extent, sitting back a bit more. But the interesting thing is long term, do we stick to this now against the top six? Even when we make these big signings, are we going to stick to this style of play? Or are we going to go back to what we did in the first half of the season and hope that we get better players in, like Rodrigo de Paul, maybe different options at the back and that lot? It'll be really interesting to see how we go about things. But this idea that Bielsa can't adapt is an absolute nonsense. You have to see from those stats there. 9 points from 6 games against the top 6. No one outside the top 6 is getting near that. No one's getting near that. 5 goals against. We're conceding less than a goal a game against players like Bruno Fernandes, Kevin De Bruyne, Mason Mount, etc. All these top players that we come up against in the top 6. We're conceding less than a goal a game against these teams. And you can look at the goals for 6. We maybe need to improve that a little bit against these teams. But when you got Raphinha, as Oscar with a K mentioned, that probably goes up. I think we get a goal yesterday. I think we probably get 2 against Liverpool. With Raphinha on the pitch, Rodrigo on the pitch. We've had these key players missing, so it's really encouraging stuff. And you look at your Wolves and that lot. They played Wolves not this season so much, but the 2 seasons before that. They played against the top 6 like this, a bit more sitting back and hitting them on the counter. And all those stats show is that Bielsa has massively changed the approach. I think a lot of the mention was that it was the Man City game where he changed the approach. It's way before that. The Leicester game is where it starts off from in January. The whole approach has changed. The midfield balance has changed. You've seen Stuart Dallas come in. You've seen us go a little bit more of a hard-working midfield. And it's going to be interesting how it plays out next season. Can you do this same kind of style of football against the top 6? If we sign people like De Paul and that lot, will they be willing to buy into this? So it's really interesting long term, but massively encouraging. So I thought I'd flash that up. It's a massive change in approach against this top 6. And it's just going to be see what we're going to do long term with that, I guess.
Yeah, great. Someone made a great point in the chat saying it's almost like you're on Line of Duty where you've gone, I've just referred to the tape and everyone's looked at the screen and you've gone,
Pilkey doesn't let you down, mate. Well, he does, actually. Don't trust Pilkey.
Yeah, don't trust. Well, he's dead now, isn't he? But sorry if anyone...
Still don't trust him.
I've never seen it, mate, but cheers for that.
You've never seen Line of Duty? Oh, you need to watch it. Get on BBC iPlayer, watch them all back to back.
I wait till everything's been on and then binge it. So yeah.
The last one's on Sunday. You could, I think it's feasible that you could probably get them all in if you just smash them all. There's about I think there's 6 seasons, maybe 6 seasons, 6 episodes a season. Do the math. I don't know. 60 hours. I don't know, something like that.
If it's actually any good, I might give it a go. I'm not
give it a go, mate. It's not just any good. It's the good. It's the shit. It's the shit. Yeah, give it a go. But what do you make to that, Jay? Then this certain switch up. I guess we'll see from Brighton really at the weekend if he's going to turn and switch it back on its head and go gung ho against the side he feels that he can get points from.
It'll be interesting to see, to be honest. I think those stats there show that we've built some resiliency into our game now. The thing before, like, we had more possession, but we were conceding more goals. I mean, that's bizarre, isn't it? It's bonkers. And it would just, there was a point in the season where when we lost the ball, you thought, oh shit, they're going to score, and you don't feel like that so much now, do you? You're not panicking as soon as the opposition get it. So yeah, I think we've built some resiliency in there. As I say, I think the players have stepped up a level, and that's a part of it as well. I think they've settled down and got used to the pace that the game's played at and the skill of the players they're playing against. And also, I think at the start of the season, we didn't really have anyone fit, did we? Like, out of the new signings. So I think the fact that we've started to see more of Llorente and Koch and Raphinha, not so much Rodrigo lately, but the others, I think that's played a part as well. I think it's a lot of factors all sort of coming together.
Yeah, 100%. Would you agree with that, Oscar?
Yeah, I was just thinking when he said that thing that I have noticed is that our defensive line is much better the second half of the season, and I think much of that is because Llorente is much more grown into the team. And I think he, at least the Sunday's game, he took more responsibility, and I think he helped the squad gain a little bit of positivity, and that helped the team.
Yeah. He's great. I mean, Llorente has been absolutely amazing. Oscar was ready to sell him after a couple of games, and
again, we're talking nonsense here. We're talking nonsense. I'm pretty sure it was Joe Wayman who was questioning the fee at some points as well.
Yeah, that is true. Actually, that is true. I will start. That is true. I did question it. I was like, "Why have we spent this money on that guy? We should have got Gvardiol. We should have got Gvardiol." Yeah, but it is what it is. Swings and roundabouts. I'm fixed. I'll admit it. Hey,
a couple of us on the pod sort of, we didn't think that Llorente had an amazing game against Liverpool when he got man of the match, but the others did. So those of us that didn't got pelters a little bit. Yeah. So I didn't think he was great against Liverpool, but obviously he got the goal. So I thought he did all right. I just didn't think he did anything outstanding. He got caught wrong side of his man a few times, and he did some good stuff, but he did some not so good stuff. So
yeah, he was good yesterday though, right? Yeah.
He was good yesterday,
Yeah. Well, no, it's true that, to be honest, listen, I listen to all the podcasts, the majority of them, as much as I can. If I try fit them in, I try to get all my Leeds content in. And, all stats aren't we were banging that drum that he was no good for a long time,
Yeah.
And they've been, questioned on it. That's what I'm saying. And everyone's a different of opinion. That's why I like to sample as much as I can, because I hear it from, different sides. But I think he's been... no one can question him now for me, personally. I think he's come through these games. And Oscar, obviously we've seen Robin Koch. He was given a job to do yesterday. It was clear to me, or at least it seemed, as soon as Pogba entered the pitch, Koch was coming on straight after him, regardless of when it was. That's what it felt like to me. And to be fair, Pogba was kept really, really quiet when he did come on. But how do we work out next season? Because I hear like the All Stats Aren't We lads say he is the understudy to Robin Koch, but can you see that being a thing, Oscar, or would you still want Llorente to be starting just based on what you've seen of him?
Me, Oscar, or him?
Yeah, he's Ryan today. He's Ryan.
Ryan,
Okay.
Ryan. Right. Right.
That's a good question. I think maybe he will maybe help Phillips in his place at the bench, because I think Llorente and Struijk has started really well the last few games. And I think I will say Pascal because I'm struggling with his last name.
Mate, to be honest, I was just going to say that is probably the most accurate pronunciation of Pascal Struijk we've ever heard.
Yeah.
You're probably better placed to say his name than what we are. Give us that again.
Struijk.
That's it. That's got to be it, hasn't it? It'll be better than any of ours. Struijk.
I have a friend from the Netherlands that helped me a little bit.
Well,
so that's
your pronunciation is much better than ours. Trust me.
Yeah, but I think Struijk and Llorente will keep their place. So I think it will be very hard for Robin to get in there. But I think maybe he will just continue on the bench, and we all know that injuries will come. So maybe Llorente will get injured again, and he will come back and make that place his home.
Yeah, and Ryan, I'm going to come to you this time, right? But it's mad calling you right. It might stick, mightn't it? I quite like it. Obviously, you're a massive, massive fan of Robin, right? And do you think it's fair that we could find out next season that Llorente starts with Pascal, even Cooper as well? Where's Cooper in all this? Mark Jones made a great shout. Where is it? Can you see Cooper? Do we now have our starting centre-back partnership?
Well, it's worth mentioning that Cooper, his last game, he started ahead of Struijk. Did I do that better? Is that better? I've got to do it quick.
Pascal.
Pascal.
Yeah, you stick to Pascal, mate.
Pascal. All right. You can't pronounce it much better over there, Joe. Right, Pascal. He didn't start that City game. It's worth mentioning. Coops was still ahead of Pascal for the City Sheffield United games. He came straight in when he was back available. But I think the thing is, Robin Koch, is that you look at Llorente's form. You can't drop Llorente. Llorente is our best centre back at the minute, hands down, no doubt about it. The only thing I say about Llorente is he's a lot older than Robin Koch and Pascal. So about 4 years older, I think. So that's going to play a factor. For me, it's got to be Llorente starting every single game. I think Llorente is absolutely fantastic. The level he's reached is something I'd never seen him reach in Spain. He's never got to that level at all. He's just took to this league like some players do, to be fair. You see some players take to the Premier League absolutely just so easily, like Raphinha almost. I think had he been fit the whole season, Llorente, he might have even been contesting with Raphinha for kind of signing of the season for us. But yeah, Robin Koch, the thing that's worth mentioning is the last 2 games he's come on to play holding midfield alongside Calvin. He's marked Pogba out the game. He's come on to mark Bernardo Silva out the game. And we've gone on to get results in both games. So he's doing that job. You could almost say now is that my concern about the holding midfield position when Calvin's not available is a lot less now. Because you see Koch go in there and he's done miles better than what Pascal did. Miles better than what Klick's done when he's played there. I think maybe he's that solution, possibly. I would still personally say Llorente and Koch long term. I'd still personally say that. I think Pascal, I think, to be honest, that's second half.
Would he do that, though? Would he put both Llorente and Koch at centre-back?
I'm not saying that's going to happen. That's what I would do personally. I wouldn't do it necessarily straight away. I just think long term, they are our best 2 centre-backs for me in terms of what they can do and how I think they probably complement each other. Because it's worth mentioning, we've never seen them play alongside each other. They might absolutely not suit each other's game at all. It might be chaos. I don't think it would be, but it might be. Cooper's an interesting one too. You know, what happens to Cooper? Cooper probably goes straight back in when he's back available because he's captain at the end of the day. And when we come to play Brighton, just to go back onto the style of football, I fully expect us to be going straight for Brighton, like we would against Sheffield United, like we would any team. I think even when I was doing that top 6 analysis, I left Arsenal out of it, but we still went for Arsenal in both games. So it's got. I don't think Bielsa only fears the top 6. He doesn't fear the likes of Arsenal. He will definitely go for Brighton.
I don't think it's a fear as such. He's
not fear, but
yeah.
He doesn't pay attention. Maybe that's probably a better word to it. I think he doesn't pay attention to the threats of these teams as much as what he would the top 6. But I fully expect us to be at it against Brighton in terms of pressing from the front, high line, and just going for Brighton. Going at Brighton a lot, because Brighton might go 2 up top on Saturday. That's possible. Right. They have switched the system around a bit. So if they went 2 up top, could it be Robin Koch going into the middle of the back 3, Llorente, Pascal,
I would like
Calvin
to see
in front?
that, bro. I'd like that
as a back 3. I'd like that. I think it'd be an interesting option. You might even say Ayling go into there. It all depends how Brighton set up, because let's not forget Brighton have just got beat by Sheffield United, so they might completely change everything. After you get beat by a Paul Heckingbottom team, it takes a bit of recovering from that, doesn't it?
Where to go from there, is there?
There's not. I'm surprised Potter's not being sacked, to be honest, for that.
Well, it's mad. It's mad because their XG, they would be in.
No, not the XG thing. Not the XG thing with Brighton. We never not hear about that. About the XG on Brighton.
We've got our opposition preview at 6 p.m. on Thursday, and we've got 2 Brighton fans on, so we can ask them about that. Ask them about being XG champions of the league. We've had a super chat coming from Luke Williamson. He says Cooper is still the best pressing centre-back on the team, and it's not close. Jay, would you agree with that?
Well, I'm not Cooper's biggest fan, to be honest with you.
I just, a bit of a running joke. Jay just don't like defenders, I think.
No, it's a bit of a running joke.
Or footballers.
Better. Apparently I hate him. I don't hate him. I think he's a great guy. I'm not convinced he's starting Premiership level. I think he's come a long way, though, this season. He has stepped up a bit. First half of the season, I felt like he was a bit of a liability. This half of the season, he's actually been a lot better. I agree with Ryan that we'll probably end up with Koch and Llorente as our starting pair. I think next season. I love that you called him Ryan. Well, I've never met him before, and you keep calling him. I'm just going with it, mate. I'm just going with it, Hopefully, he'll not get too offended.
I won't be, mate. I won't be.
But no, I think that he knows the system the best out of any of the defenders we've got, and I think as a result of that, I think that he does always have a chance of starting for us, but whether he should come back in, I'm not sure. I think technically the other guys are better, but as a fit in the team, maybe Cooper's better.
Yeah. I think it was quite surprising when he came back from injury to see him go straight in. So I sort of agree with Ryan a little bit in that probably when he's available after his red card, which will be after Brighton, which will be Spurs, won't it?
I think so.
Yeah, he probably will come in. Mega King Richard, I'm going to let you have your moment. Mega King Richard absolutely hates Cooper and says so on every single stream. So just so I'm going to let you have your moment. I call him Mega Dick. Mega Dick. Cooper is awful. He should not be brought back into this team. He's always hammering us. So big shout out, Mega Dick. What are your thoughts? What you say?
I would rather have Llorente and Koch. Are either of them left-footed? Because Bielsa likes the right.
That's the thing, isn't it?
Llorente loves his left. He does. He's comfortable on that left foot, though. Llorente. Sometimes when he plays out of the back, he feints. He fades to the left, doesn't he? He feints to the left and that lot. I think it could. I personally think it could work, but I don't know if we'd see it.
Yeah. I'd like to see it. I would like to see it. Oscar, what are your thoughts on Cooper, just as a whole, as a player, while we're discussing?
Well, I've never been his biggest fan, but I respect him as our captain. And of course, he has had many big games and has grown this year. But like the other guy said, I will go for Koch and Llorente as our centre backs.
Yeah, it would be interesting. It'd be nice to see them. I'm assuming we'll do at some point. But we'll have to wait and see. Let's talk about, for me, who was man of the match, best performance I've seen him in a while, probably since Everton. I thought he was that good. I still can't believe that Sky gave Luke Shaw man of the match. I thought Calvin was absolutely unbelievable yesterday. It was Batty-esque. He was putting in challenges. The difference like we spoke about that earlier game, and I'll never forget it, was Calvin's interview prior to Manchester United when they beat us 6-2, and he's looking round Old Trafford like, wow, it's big, it's massive. He was overawed by the occasion. The lads yesterday that went on that pitch were, for me, they put everything in, and I thought Calvin was the antipathy of that. He was the main man. He was flying in challenges on McTominay, on Fred, on Bruno. He absolutely pocketed Bruno. I thought he was absolutely exceptional. I just thought we could have a little chat about Phillips, because I thought he was unbelievable yesterday. Ryan, thoughts?
Unbelievable, absolutely incredible. I still think Llorente for me just about man of the match.
I don't know how, man.
That first 25 minutes, mate, when they started quite well, I thought he was absolutely immense. But Phillips on Fernandes. Fernandes didn't get a kick in the game. He didn't get a kick in the game. I logged onto Twitter, honestly, last night, and the amount of things I saw, like Bruno the Ghost and all this lot. But it's, like the FT Twitter and that lot, where they've got all these, like, fabulous Firmino and cool Kane and all this lot, and that's probably not even one, but they've got all these like football Twitter, and they're all saying, "Oh, Bruno's a ghost" and all this lot. I was loving that, to be honest, because that shows Calvin completely had him in his pocket. And we're talking a really, really good player here. He was absolutely everywhere.
He's going to be in the team of the season, Bruno, isn't he? He's going to be in with the shout with player of the season. So and Calvin just bodied him for 90 minutes.
Completely. I mean, there's one time when Bruno got round him when he took that, but it was a lovely turn off Fernandes. But Calvin recovered. He recovered on everything. Yeah. His passing was fantastic. He was under a bit of a press from time to time. Didn't give the ball away once. Nice and calm and composed. Leader's performance. It was outstanding, Calvin. I agree. That was probably his best game since Everton. I can't think of many more. He's been consistently brilliant second half of the season, especially. He's been consistently brilliant. But that was probably one where he really went up that level kind of thing. He went up that level yesterday for me. I think maybe the City game you could say as well. I think second half in that City game he was outstanding, but this one for me was the complete package. If he finishes the season and plays like that every single game, or he's in the England team. I'm going that far. He's going to be in the England team. There's no way you can ignore a player when he's playing that well in holds midfield. He will be in the team, but it's an ask now. He's showing that level he can reach. Couple of times this season, and as Phil said yesterday, if Jordan Henderson doesn't fit, KP's in that team. He is definitely the next reserve. It's not a case of James Ward-Prowse or all these other players, Jude Bellingham. It will be KP.
Yeah.
Southgate trusts him now. Southgate's played him 3 times.
He was there yesterday.
He watched him yesterday.
Yeah.
I think Southgate knows that Jordan Henderson isn't going to be available for that first couple of games for the Euros, and he's thinking, right, he's the man now, KP. Him alongside Rice. I've tested it for the last couple of games. He's playing superbly well. And I'm made up for KP. I'm absolutely made up for him.
Same. I didn't know this, but I've seen a few comments coming in that apparently Paul Ince said, even if Henderson and Rice are fit, KP should start ahead of them.
Paul Ince said that?
Paul Ince said that. Says Paul Ince said in the post-match that he is the best midfielder in that position. England have. Fair play.
Fair play. That would be the last person I'd expect to say something like that, though, Paul Ince, to be honest. Fair play.
He was just unbelievable. Anything you want to add, boys, Jay?
Just echoing what you guys said, really. I think he's another one who's come on leaps and bounds this season. He's just got better and better. And, let's not make any bones about it. Fernandes is a world-class player.
Yeah.
And KP turned him into the invisible man. He made him anonymous. He just was exceptional. He did nothing wrong. He was there constantly. It was a thorn in his side, wound him up a bit, broke up play, stopped him getting involved. And as you say, Southgate watching that must be thinking, wow, I've got a diamond here. And if Leeds aren't thinking, build the team around this lad and stick a few more quality players around him, then someone needs their head tested, because he's phenomenal and he's just showing it time and time again now. He's just stepped up without breaking a sweat,
It's mad because obviously we do opposition previews and, we speak to people from different teams quite regularly. And it's mad the amount, like, I've had Liverpool fans saying long-term replacement for Henderson, and Man United fans saying they would have him in there. City fans, replacement for Fernandinho. This is, and I know it's just fans having banter and all that sort of stuff, but I know he's not going to leave Leeds, and I'm not saying that at all, but I'm just saying, like, he wouldn't look out of place, would he, Oscar, in a elite club for me? He's that good.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he showed yesterday why he's an England international. So it's not easy to have full control of Bruno Fernandes. He's one of the best midfielders in the world, and I had watched the game with full calmness that he had control, and that's very relieving.
Yeah, it is. It's mad. It's quite the trajectory from the player that I mean, let's not forget. I always remember this when we sold Ronaldo Vieira. People would have rather moved on KP at that time, and I don't care what people say. There might be a small section, but there was a lot of fans that would have been ready for binning him off, right?
100%.
100%, but people won't admit to it, Jay. But it's true.
At that time, when KP, if you asked me when Bielsa took charge, and I've been totally honest now, who will go further in their career? I didn't want in isolation KP to leave the club, but if you had to give me a choice between one of the two, I'm sorry, it would have been KP because Vieira was fantastic when he was, first couple of years for us. So, I'll openly admit to that. No problem admitting to that.
He used to get some right pelters in the stands when you're there watching, and people used to go mental. You know, he used to get probably more hassle than Mowatt got off people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. People rated Alex Mowatt above him.
Yeah,
and look at them now.
He's only I was trying to think in my head there, like Jim Ogden of the chant. He's only a teenager. He never gives the ball away. But that's what I'm saying.
He scored, I think it's Bolton away. I think it was when Chris Stevenson was in charge. He scored twice. Now stood to someone next to someone who's saying, he's still poor. He's still awful. And that they're thinking he's literally one of those guys who says, it's just come off his shin. Knew nothing about it. And all this, he smashed it from like 30 yards into the top corner. It just came off his shin and all this. Like, I'm thinking it was bizarre. The stick he got though, Jay, it was absolutely bizarre. You know, considering he was an academy lad, he was 20 years old at the time. He was sound for me, but he's massively progressed.
He didn't have a proper position though, did he? He didn't have an identity as a midfielder in our team. It was like he almost got treated as a utility player. Just throw him in somewhere and expect him to do a job. He didn't get a run in a set position or given a proper role. No manager did that for him until Bielsa came along.
He also played alongside YNWA Kane, which is just like, it can't have helped things much.
He sure did. I think he's just one of those people, having someone behind him that believes in him has just done so much for him. I think that's a big factor in it.
Yeah, 100%. We've had another super chat coming from Robert Swift. Said it's scary to think KP still has his best years ahead of him and will only get better. I, for one, used to dig him out at games and not ashamed to say it. But that's fair, though. We're allowed to say when we were wrong, right? It's like I've seen people get stick for giving, listen, I went on my first ever video that I did before I was even on this channel. I was interviewed outside Ellen Road by Barney, right? It was my first ever video. And I did it at the Billy statue. Our lads were with me. And I said, Heckingbottom is a good fit. because his work we use, like John Stones, Alfie Mawson, Hourahan, etc. So I was like, so that's a good sign. Obviously, TC had gone. I said Cooper would never lead this team back to the Premier League, and he did. So but it's all relative, isn't it? It's all with the times. Do you know what I mean? There's big sections of the fan base out now there saying that Roberts is no good. And in 5 years' time, we might have an absolute baller on our hands. It's just football. It is what it is. It's funny when you can look back and see that. But what a trajectory, what a performance, what a midfielder, what a guy. He's just everything that Leeds United is. It was almost Batty-esque yesterday for me. I think if the rules of today or if the refs weren't were as lenient as they were back then, Calvin would have been putting people in the air as well, but obviously you can't get away with it today. We've had another super chat come in. Ryan's obviously gone to do some shady 4CG work. KP is ahead of his years for a DM player. Most excel in early 30s. KP is 25. He will be the best DM in Europe within 2 seasons as current crop age. I mean, that is some praise indeed. He could. I mean, look how old he's got a point. How old Fernandinho now? He must be getting on, and he's still bossing it. at the top of the game. Do we think he could go on to be one of the best DMs around, Oscar?
I think any player that Bielsa trains could be miles better than they were before they were trained by him. So anything is possible with this Leeds team. So I have no doubt of believing that he could play with one of the biggest teams in the world. So I'm very excited to see how he will develop.
Yeah, definitely. I've just checked there. Fernandinho is actually 35, so he's got another 10 years yet, Jay, to be on up there with him.
Yeah, I think he could go all the way. To be fair, he's got all the tools. He's got the talent. So just needs the right players around him. I think to help him sort of reach the top. I'd like that to be at Leeds. You know, I think he would too.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
let's hope that's the case.
Yeah, because I don't even want to think about it. Imagine 3 seasons time. We've not got.
I think at this point, if he ever did leave,
we lost you. Oh,
no. Bro.
Right, Jay.
Hang on. Say it again, Jay. You're cutting in and out, bud.
No, I'm back.
We're losing him here. We're losing him. It's Ryan. Ryan jumped off, did some OCG stuff, and then came back.
Untraceable, mate. Untraceable. That's the issue you got now. Untraceable.
Oh, he's gone, Annie. Jay will come back. Jay will come back eventually. Yeah, he's definitely gone. I'm just going to pop him down there while we wait for him to sort his stuff out. But yeah, he's definitely frozen. When I see his face moving, I'll get him back. But yeah, Calvin. Right, let's have a little look ahead to Brighton. Then we've got Brighton at the weekend. 2 big games for me. We've got Brighton and Spurs. The reason I say that is because obviously I'm looking at Spurs. They are in 6th. We are in 8th. We are 6 points behind them. No, they're in 7th. We're in 9th. Let me get my positions right first of all.
Yeah, that's right.
They're in 7th. We're in 9th. 6 points behind them. I look at their fixtures. They're definitely beating Sheffield United, right? They're going to beat Sheffield United or Spurs. We've got to beat Brighton to keep that dream alive. And then we play Spurs. And I think we can beat Spurs. But just thinking about Brighton at the weekend, Oscar, how do you see that one going, mate?
I think that should be 3 points, to be honest. With the way they have played the last 3 games, I think everything is possible. And they have a point to prove when they played them last year. So I really hope that they're going to go out and get the 3 points.
Yeah. It was a mad one, weren't it, Ryan? Obviously, last time out, I think it was the first time we played on the apps, or it was when it was at its shocking. It's more shocking, that pitch. Yeah. It was like a rugby pitch. It was like something you would see on the local fields and the lads playing rugby on a Sunday. You know, it was that bad. And I know Brighton also had to play on that pitch, but it really affected us, didn't it, Oscar, last time?
Yeah, absolutely. I was watching the highlights from the game a couple of hours ago, and it was really, really boring. I'm hoping for a much more fun game this time around. Yeah,
definitely. And I noticed there, I meant to come to Ryan, but I went to Oscar and I forgot I was calling you Ryan and I called you Oscar, and then it went all over. But Ryan, it was bad, wasn't it, mate?
Easily worst game this season. Easily. Probably the only one that comes close is that Villa at home game. Not just in terms of our performance. It was such a terrible game of football. I mean, this might come back to bite me, but people are telling me Brighton are this great team and all this stuff about the XG. If Brighton were that good, on that day, how bad we were in terms of we had Pascal was playing CDM. Everything was a bit all over the place. We didn't look right at all. Kiko was in goal and on that game as well. Brighton, if they were that good a team, would have battered us. Yeah. If they were that good. That's all I'm going to say. They had the perfect opportunity to really show us how great they are. They didn't do it on that occasion. Ben White was superb in that game. But yeah, what a terrible game of football. I thoroughly expect this one, though, to be a much, much better game. I think both teams will be better in this game. I think Brighton have slowly, obviously, turned their season around a little bit. But yeah, I think it will be a really good game, this one. I'm hoping Raphinha's back. I think that's crucial in terms of creativity, because obviously Paddy's on a bit of a goal drought at the minute. I think it's 1 in 6, I think it is. Might be less than that, actually. I think it's 1 in 6, 1 in 7.
Right.
So that's probably his worst run of the season. Jack Harrison's on a bit of a goal and assist drought as well. So we need Raphinha back into the team just to liven things up a little bit. Because obviously Tyler isn't really going to add any goals at this moment in time. That's all we need. We just need the goals at the other end of the pitch now. And I feel all right going into that Brighton game. I feel all right. I'm hoping that Diego can put Morpay in the bin after 5 minutes, to be honest, because I cannot stand him. I cannot stand that man, honestly, Morpay. He's such a horrible, horrible footballer. He is. He's just such. He loves it. That if he was on your team, you would like him. You would like him. I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say you'd love him, because I don't think anyone could, to be honest. I mean, you just like him, wouldn't you? He's just. He's just always there and just moaning, and he's like Dennis Wise up front, Morpay. Honestly, he's just little and just annoying.
He's like Alioski, bro. There'll be every single fan outside of Leeds will be saying that about Alioski.
Even when he was at Brentford, I couldn't stand him. When he took, in fact, it wasn't him who took the dive. Actually, it was Watkins who took the dive in that game. When it all kicked off in the tunnel, apparently. Dean Smith was in charge. I think Morpay took the penalty, and he was just there in front of the south stand, and everyone, I think he was getting everything launched at him. But he's such a no. I remember that. Diego, put him in the bin. Take the booking if you have to. Just put him in the bin early doors.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm all for that as well. Jay, what are your thoughts then about Brighton at the weekend?
Well, if my hillbilly internet will let me talk this time, I think we just got to go for the throat, haven't we? As I've said a few times now, we're a different team. I think that if Raphinha's back as well, they won't know what's hit them. You know, they're another one of these sides that's got a PE teacher in charge. You know, as you say, he's changed the system a few times. He doesn't know what his best team is or what works in Premier League. He's just an amateur. Let's really give it to him this time and show him what's really going on at Leeds United. No more of this losing to rubbish like Brighton. Nothing clubs. Get rid of them. Throw them all in the bin.
Do you reckon, Jay, that Ben White approaches him as Mr. Potter rather than Graham?
I bet he makes him call him Sir.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's definitely 100%. 100%. He makes him call him Sir. You just tell. You just tell.
Yeah, the right shiner at the
What did he when he sent him out on loan to us? Oh, we think he's great. We don't know who he is, but we think he's great. You can't buy him.
Ben White did have a good game last time, but I think a lot of that was due to the fact like how open we were, and that's changed now, you know. So because there was a few times where he did maraud into the centre of the park.
Well, he played midfield that game, didn't he? He's in midfield, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Because Potter didn't know what he's doing.
Yeah. Yeah, he was good. He is good, but it's mad, really, that we're all pining after Ben White. But I mean, Llorente is just fucking brilliant, and Robin, you know, it's quick how things have changed, like moved on. I know some would probably still have Ben White, but that ship sailed. It's been.
Would he get in all seriousness though?
No, I don't think he would.
Would he actually even get in the squad at the minute ahead of Pascal, Robin? It's probably getting the squad, but would he get ahead of Pascal, Koch, or Llorente?
No,
I don't see it. I don't see it, to be honest.
No, maybe cleaning boots or something like that. He might get away with doing that. But other than that, I kid. Of course, I loved him, man. He was best thing since sliced bread. Steve says, "Sorry guys, just tuned in. Super chat. Is there any truth? We don't know, mate. We don't know. It's
supposed to be Van Aanholt now, isn't it? Who's going there?
Yeah, Palace. Yeah, Van Aanholt, because his contract's up at the end of the season as well, much like Alioski. And listen, if you're them, you probably take Van Aanholt over Alioski. But let's hope it's not, because it's just gonna mucky the waters with some fans, with all fans, whoever. You know, we've all said our piece. We don't want to get involved in that shit, man. It was brutal. It was an absolute shit show. Let's hope he stays put, because he's playing. If Alioski is wanting to stay at this football club, he's certainly going the right ways about it with the performances on the pitch. That means he warrants a new contract. Because based on his last 5-6 performances, I'm saying we need this kid sticking around. We don't know truly what's going on behind the scenes. So
well, I said to Chris yesterday that if that was Alioski's first 5 or 6 games, what he's produced since Fulham, you're saying, where have we got this left back from? He's unreal. Yeah. We've got an absolute steal. But you would do if it was his first couple. He's probably playing his best football in the Leeds shirt for me. Certainly at left back.
Yeah, he's been great. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And if he is, then he's definitely going the right way about it. Right, I've left it too little time, but I want to ask the guests before we go through their 5-a-side teams. Jay, I've been banging this drum of Europe all season, right? People, take out of it the people that say, oh, well, because I'm all about living in the moment. People keep saying, yeah, but we haven't got a big enough squad, you mong. You're an idiot, all this sort of stuff. Forget about that. It's all about the here and now. Bielsa, even if we did get Europe and we had a big squad, it would still be them that are saying we don't have a big enough squad. Bielsa would still keep the same fucking squad size regardless because he likes a small squad. That's what I'm saying. He's not going to go to Europe and say, right, let's get an extra 10 players in because we're playing in Europe. He would still have the same amount size of squad. He'd just improved the quality. So that argument's a fallacy anyway. So it's pointless even discussing that.
He played the same team as well. He wouldn't care if it's Ajax away on a Tuesday night. He'd still play the same team again the Saturday, I reckon.
He would, yeah. And you were already falling up from the first leg. He'd still play him.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. It'd be like, what? What's it? Is it the Damned United? You know where Brian Clough plays his strong side because he's playing Leeds and they just kick him out of the park and then they have a weakened side. That would be Bielsa. It'd be like, rest the players, we don't need them. And he'd be like, nope, I'm playing them. And they just get absolutely bad. Yeah, no, 100%. But we're aiming for 7th. Obviously, I think that's the Europa Conference League. Apparently, I was led to believe if it's an all-English final in Europe, it might even drop to 8th. So I need someone to properly look at that.
Yeah, but Arsenal will let us down because it's Arsenal.
Yeah, maybe.
It's always
but
Arsenal.
Even if you could feasibly have all-English Champions League, all-English Europa League, which surely should give us another spot, which means it might drop to 8th. But let's say it's 7th for this Europa Conference League. We're 6 points off Tottenham with 5 to go. Do you think it's doable, Jay, that, bearing in mind we're playing Tottenham and they're not that great, that we could get in there?
Well, we've already exceeded my expectations this season, so I'd say anything's possible from here. As we've seen with those stats earlier, we've got better and better second half of the season, so why can't we do it? You know, who knows what's going to happen from here? We've just had 3 amazing results. Confidence should be sky high. We don't have anybody to fear in this league now. I think we can go on from here and we could potentially do something really special.
Imagine Europe next season back in the grounds, please, man.
I would give anything to European.
I know. That's why I don't understand when people say, like, we don't want Europe. I'm like, what are you talking about, man?
That's people that voted for Brexit. Don't listen to them. They're just confused.
But you might as well say we don't want to get out of the Championship. The Premier League's too tough for us. It's the same thing, isn't it?
Stuff like that. I've heard that before.
It's a nonsense argument.
I don't want to go up and get beat every week. I'd rather stay here and win every week. Well, you know, what's the point of that? I want to see the best players.
Yeah. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. There'll be some people that don't agree, but I just think it's mad. It's mad. But Oscar, where's your head at, mate?
First of all,
who's your first one, Oscar? Who are we going to?
We're going to go to the Leeds Vikings first. We're going to go to Oscar first, mate. So talk us through the board.
It's actually the wrong goalkeeper.
Is it?
Yeah, he had Melier.
Oh,
I had Melier there.
Stitched him up, lads.
He had Melier.
You sure he had Melier?
I had Martin. Maybe you've confused them.
I thought you both had Martin.
Great.
Is the rest of the team all right, though?
Yeah. Yes.
We'll just pretend.
It's Melier in goal. Why Melier?
Just pretend it's Melier.
Pretend it's Nigel Melier in goal.
No, I like the team with the good technique in the team. Sorry.
Yeah.
So that's why I chose Melier. I really liked Casilla before he was everything there. But after Meslier got into the team, I really liked his influence in the team. So that's why I wanted to choose him. And next one is Ben White. I really love the friendship that Ben White and Calvin Phillips had, and I love the calmness he had in defense. He was like a brand new defender when he came to us, and I'd never seen a modern center back like him. So that's why I chose him. And I went for a Spanish trio on top with Hernandez, Saiz, and Rodrigo. I was thinking about Calvin Phillips, but as I said, I wanted more technical players. That's why I chose Hernandez, who has given me a lot of good memories. And Saiz, before his spitting accident, he was one of my absolute favorites. And I think Rodrigo will have an amazing season next year when he is hopefully more injury-free. So that is my five-a-side.
Mate, that's quite possibly the best technical ability we've had in a five. Would you say, Oscar?
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. It's just full of ballers. Not a lot in kind of the strength category though. In terms of it comes up against a Batty, it's probably getting absolutely barged off the ball and it's going to get kicked quite a bit. Not going to lie, but no, technique wise, definitely. That's a really interesting team. I like that team, Oscar.
Yeah,
Let's go to. We're going to go to Jay now. Jay's gone for a slightly different team. Talk us through the board, mate.
All right, so
and quickly explain. Well, explain to us first your centre back selection, and you're gonna have to justify that first because I'm anticipating them comments. I'm seeing them come through now. Quickly, Jay, start your centre back selection.
Right, so Luke from Better asked me for my team to pass on to you guys during the day today. I was in the middle of taking someone to the emergency dentist, and I was on the spot, and I can't think on the spot. And I just went for somebody from a footballing perspective who can play decent passes out from the back. And then, I just went for players not from the current crop, but players that I've seen. So it just, I can't think on the spot. That's what came out. I have to just take my medicine if people don't like it. He might have been an ass, but he was a bloody good player. So, so that's why I picked him. If you only got one defender, you want somebody who can defend and can play the ball out, and that was the basis for it, basically. Not based on what he's like as a person or the fact that he's a traitor or, doesn't have a spine, scales. But yeah, so that's why I picked him. Martin I put because I just loved him. I thought he was amazing. When I was watching that team he was in, it was just an exciting time and he was just fantastic. Same kind of goes for Bowie there as well. And he's kind of goals and grit, you know what I mean? He can do it all. So I wanted to throw him in. He was one of my favourites back in the day. Speed, attacking flair. How can you not love Gary Speed? One of the first sort of players that I saw playing for Leeds in person. And your Boa guy up front who's just going to bang in chance after chance all day long with that service from Speed. So, yeah, that's my team.
I like that. It's a good matchup. It's a good matchup between the two teams. Interesting.
To be honest, when I seen Oscar's team, I was thinking it's very new. It's got Saiz in there, Rodrigo, not had a great season. He's going to struggle to come up against Jay's team. And then when I've seen Jay's got Rio in there, I think actually it's going to be quite even.
To be fair, though, Jay, it will. Rio is the best centre back I've seen in a Leeds shirt live. There's no doubt about it. I'm not going to deny that. I would refuse to put him in my team, but he was absolutely superb. I'm not going to lie about it. There's a reason he broke the world record for a centre back. It wasn't because he was poor.
It's the same with
I mean, I was dealing with a crisis at the time. I didn't have time to think about it that much. So
it's the same with him who went over to them in Turkey, though. For me, he was exceptional, but I just can't Yeah,
No.
he'll never go in any sort of team for me, you know. Similar. I know it's not as bad. Well, it is as bad, isn't it? I don't know. I'll just stop talking. I've already got myself in trouble today.
I'd say it is worse.
I think it's worse.
Yeah.
Some people would be like that with Alan Smith, though.
We hate the scum, but they didn't do what they did.
No. I like Smith, though. Do you know what I mean? Though?
Yeah, but some I know Leeds fans who will just like do one end of the scale and to the other end of the scale.
If I did my 1 to 5 and we've not done it yet, Smith would go in there.
Yeah, that's fair. But you probably lose the poll if you did that.
School, man, he was the nuts, man. He was the nuts, Leeds lad, and and I feel he went because he had to kind of thing. It wasn't.
Not unlike Joe to like Man United players. He was praising Pogba the other week.
You could do a whole episode.
He's good though, isn't he? He is good. When he's on it, he is good. Shut up, Oscar, you dick.
Who's Oscar?
Yeah, not you. Not you. Great stuff. Right, that's our hour. That's our time. Let's wrap it up. Jay, talk to us about Auto No Better podcast. What can the guys that aren't listening or viewing you, because I know you've started some lives as well recently, what can they expect from you? And
more nonsense from me. A few guys talking a bit more sense, but yeah, it's just the same sort of thing as you guys. You know, we're a group of fans who we just came together and we started this during lockdown for something to do, really, and to keep things ticking over and keep talking about Leeds. And it's growing now, and we're starting to get a lot of engagements, and we're starting to sort of branch out a bit. We've done a few sort of interviews with people like Raphinha. We've had people like Robert Molinar, you know. And we're now doing sort of a live post-match Berardi and Coke show where people can sort of come on and give their opinions and join us after games, you know, when we're still either buzzing or ready to slit his wrist, depending on how it's gone, and just sort of join in with us and give your opinions. We have in Off the VAR that we have with a referees assessor from Ireland, where we discuss some of the controversial decisions that we've seen in some of the Leeds games and get a proper referee's point of view on them. And we also obviously do the main pod, and we sort of rotate through the group, and you'll get a different selection of us depending which week it is, but it'll always be packed full of daft stuff and opinions and good Leeds discussion, you know. Tackling the issues, that's what we do.
The big issues, yeah.
That's
the big. I'll give you a big issue that needs to be tackled. I've got Smarty in the comments here saying Oscar sacked Joe. This is the same Smarty that 2 weeks ago on this very show called Manchester United. So don't come at me, Smarty, son.
Don't let him on. Not again. Get him off.
And Oscar with the K, Oscar with the kicking car. You're starting up. You're creating some attire for the Scandinavian Leeds fan, and of course for the English Leeds fan as well. But talk to us about your brand that you're creating and putting out there.
Yeah, Leeds Vikings started as a Instagram fan site, and then I saw it quickly just grew and grew, and I saw a lot of people from England and all around the world. They wanted more Viking stuff, so that's why I eventually wanted to make more merchandise. So now I have 3 T-shirts. They are with Bielsa, Calvin Phillips, and Raphinha, and I also have created 3 hoodies. So I'm very excited to open my web shop in the 12th of June.
Nice. Make sure you check it out. I've got one on the way. So when I've got it on, I will share that with you. So make sure you.
Oh, Joe's frozen. I think.
Am I still here?
No, you're still there. You're still there.
Am I back?
You're back.
You're back.
Am I
Guess
back?
who's back? Back again. Waitman's back. No, you're not. He's not actually. He's frozen again.
Girls, get off the Wi-Fi, will you?
You're back now. You're back.
I'm glad it's not just me.
Am I back?
Should we end it there?
Am I back?
He's back.
You're back.
Yeah. Oscar, say bye. Make sure you check out the Ought to Know Better podcast and Leeds Vikings. Make sure you check them out. Thank you, as always, for watching. and we will end it there. If you can hear me all, peace out.